Okay, let's be real for a second. The whole robots are coming for your job thing, it's not some distant sci-fi fantasy anymore. It's here. Artificial intelligence has exploded out of the lab and is changing our world, our workplaces, at a pace that is, frankly, kind of mind-blowing.
So it's the question on everybody's mind, right? From the factory floor to the corner office. And we're not just talking about assembly line robots anymore. We're talking about creative jobs, analysts, accountants, and yeah, maybe even the job you do every day.
And here's the most important part. This is not a problem for our kids or grandkids to figure out. This massive shift in how we work is unfolding right now, in real time, and it's forcing us to ask some really tough questions about what work is even going to mean.
Let's just put a number on it to make it real. A recent MIT study found that almost 12% of the entire U.S. labor market could be automated by AI using technology that exists right now. That's not a prediction, that's a snapshot of today.
And believe me, this isn't just a theoretical number from some academic paper. This is playing out in the boardrooms and strategy sessions of some of the biggest companies you can think of. I mean, just look at this list. Salesforce, Walmart, UPS, YouTube. These are household names, right? All of them have announced job cuts or hiring freezes that they've directly linked to AI. And then you see Amazon saying they want to automate 75% of their operations. 75%. It's happening.
So if that's what's happening today, what's coming next? Well, when you look at the projections from the big global financial players, the numbers get pretty staggering.
Okay, so Goldman Sachs estimates that about 6 to 7% of the entire U.S. workforce could be displaced. Now, they do think new jobs will eventually get created, but that transition period in between, that could mean some serious hardship for millions and millions of people.
But then you look at what the McKinsey Global Institute is saying, and the number just jumps off the page. They're projecting that by 2030, which is really not that far away, a whopping 40% of American jobs could be displaced by automation. 40%.
And this is a global story. The World Economic Forum thinks that by next year, 2025, we could see 92 million jobs displaced around the world. It's an economic shift on a scale we've just never seen before.
And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm a white-collar worker, I'm safe, think again. The CEO of Ford was brutally honest about it. He said AI could replace half of all white-collar workers. Management, HR, analytics, jobs we thought were totally safe. So if this is the tidal wave that's coming, the question becomes, what in the world do we do?
I mean, if millions of jobs literally disappear, how do people survive? How do they feed their families? This is where an idea that was once considered pretty fringe is now a serious topic of conversation: universal basic income. You've probably heard it called UBI.
So what is it? Well, the idea is pretty simple. Every adult citizen gets a regular check from the government. That's it. No strings attached, no work requirements. The idea is to create a financial floor that nobody can fall below.
And this isn't just a theory anymore. The idea is actually being tested in the real world. In fact, one of the biggest experiments just finished up right here in the U.S. So in Cook County, Illinois, where Chicago is, they ran a pilot program. They gave about 3,200 households $500 a month for 2 straight years. And the results were so interesting that the county decided to make the program permanent. That's a huge step for the UBI movement.
So what do people do with the money? Well, overwhelmingly, they used it for emergencies and essentials. You know, the car breaks down, an unexpected doctor's bill, life stuff. And the impact was clear. A huge majority felt more financially stable, and 70% said it had a positive impact on their mental health. It was a safety net.
But of course, it's not that simple. There's a whole other side to this debate. While supporters see it as a hand up, critics like the Illinois Policy Institute call it a failed strategy. They worry it could discourage people from working, and that could actually hurt their earnings in the long run. It's a really fundamental disagreement.
And all of this discussion leads us to the giant elephant in the room, the multi-trillion-dollar question that everybody asks about UBI.
How on earth do you pay for it? I mean, funding a local program is one thing, but scaling this up for an entire country, you need a massive, sustainable source of cash. So where could that possibly come from?
Well, the answer might just come from the last place you'd expect. Dario Amodei, he's the CEO of Anthropic, one of the biggest AI companies out there. He literally said in public, "You guys should tax us." His logic is simple. If the AI companies are the ones making historic profits from this shift, they should be the ones helping to fund the new social safety net.
And this chart really shows you how much wealth is concentrated there. We used to talk about the S&P 500, 500 big companies. Now everyone just talks about the Magnificent Seven, the big tech giants. The market value of just those 7 companies often rivals the other 493 combined. So when UBI supporters look for funding, they're pointing right at this chart. So you can see, this whole thing is much bigger than just a new government program. It's really a fundamental debate about what our economy, what capitalism itself is going to look like in the age of AI. Andrew Yang, who really brought UBI into the spotlight, has a great way of framing it. He says it's not about replacing capitalism, it's about upgrading it. He calls it capitalism where income doesn't start at zero. His point is, for our consumer economy to even work, people need to have money to spend. So, at the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. Estimates say 30 to 40 million US jobs could be on the chopping block in the next decade. 30 to 40 million. The question isn't if we'll need a big solution, it's what that solution is going to be. The AI revolution is here, and how we decide to handle it is going to define our society for a long, long time.